In every study of success and self-confidence, in every situation where a person enjoys high levels of self-esteem, self-respect, and personal pride, we find that they all have one thing in common. And that one thing is that each high-achieving man or woman is in the right place at the right time, doing exactly the work that he or she is uniquely qualified to do. Not only are these people the happiest and highest performing men and women in our society, but you personally will never be truly happy and truly satisfied until you take your rightful place among them. As Emerson said, the power which resides in man is new in nature, and none but he knows what that is which he can do, nor does he know until he has tried. Thomas Edison said, "If we all did the things we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves." Within you right now is the power to do things you never dreamed possible, and this power becomes available to you just as soon as you can change your beliefs. Your limits are determined solely by your own beliefs and by your own confidence in what you think is possible for you. Studies conducted on thousands of men and women who have moved from ordinary to extraordinary performance, and who have moved from feelings of inadequacy to feeling great about themselves, show that there is a direct cause-effect relationship between competence and mastery on the one hand and self-confidence on the other. Peak experience is a form of natural high that causes you to feel absolutely terrific about yourself and gives you a wonderful overall feeling of well-being and happiness. And the causes of this effect are now well known. To attain this wonderful, healthy feeling of optimal performance, you need clear goals, challenging standards, regular feedback, total concentration, step-by-step success, and a feeling that you are expanding your capabilities to a new, higher level. When you have created a situation where you experience all of these, you feel that you are getting progressively better and better at something you are ideally suited to do, and that while you are still working within the range of your capabilities, you are stretching yourself at every moment. When you are caught up in this kind of experience, you often lose track of time. You become unaware of hunger, thirst, or fatigue. You feel calm and clear-headed and euphoric. Tests show that when you are in this state of flow, your brain releases endorphins, nature's happy drug, which causes you to feel happy and energized. Often when you are in this state, the rest of the world seems to slow down. You seem to function with extraordinary clarity. You seem capable of accomplishing great quantities of work in a shorter period of time, with great accuracy and few mistakes. Men and women who achieve extraordinary things in life are merely ordinary men and women who have learned how to put themselves into flow and to function at peak performance more often than the average person. And what someone else has done, you can do as well. One of the greatest joys of human existence is to find your true place, the job or occupation that is ideally meant for you, and then to throw your whole heart into doing it and doing it well. The most fortunate people in our society are those who are so totally absorbed in their work that they don't know where their work ends and their play begins. If they could, many of them would do what they love for free, and many do. If they won $10 million in the lottery, this is what they would consciously choose to do for the rest of their lives, or until the money ran out. Spiritual teacher Emmett Fox referred to this as your heart's desire. He said that you are here on earth to do something special, something that perhaps only you can do, and that you will never be truly fulfilled until you find it and completely commit yourself to it. And the remarkable thing, said Fox, is that you almost always have an idea of what it is. You only need to listen to yourself and then trust the guidance you receive. The history of the human race is written in the life stories of men and women who followed their heart's desires and did what they were uniquely qualified to do, and did it with all their heart. And no matter what your situation is, this possibility lies open to you right now. Your development of competence and mastery, and the self-confidence that goes with it, actually begin with self-analysis and self-awareness. Socrates said that the beginning of all wisdom and understanding is contained in the words, "Man, know thyself." And in analyzing yourself to determine what it is that would be ideal for you to do, there are 6 approaches you can use. First, ask yourself these questions. 1. What talents, skills, and abilities do you have that seem to be natural to you? 2. What have you been able to do easily and well in the past that seems to be difficult for other people? 3. What subjects in school and what parts of your work have you naturally gravitated toward? 4. What did you most enjoy doing between the ages of 7 and 14? Ask your mother. This is often a predictor of what you should be doing as an adult. 5. What parts of your work do you love to do and seem to do well? And 6. What work or activities give you a natural high? They give you energy, fill you with enthusiasm, and you lose track of time when you are doing them. Every person is put on this earth with a unique combination of talents and inclinations that makes him or her different from anyone else who has ever lived. And it is only when you find the special situation that can most benefit from your unique capabilities that you will be able to make the greatest contribution and enjoy the greatest rewards, both tangible and intangible. Finding the right job for you and then becoming excellent at that job is one of the chief responsibilities of adult life. An excellent exercise in self-discovery is for you to divide your work activities into 4 quadrants. This was first suggested by Viktor Frankl, the founder of logotherapy. The 4 quadrants are divided up by hard to learn versus what is easy to learn, and what is hard to do versus what is easy to do. Quadrant 1. In the first quadrant, you find those jobs and activities that are hard to learn and hard to do. These are probably areas for which you have no natural facility and from which you get very little pleasure, like a salesperson having to do detailed account reports or financial analysis, or a computer programmer expected to make sales calls or do public speaking. The individual and the occupation are not suited to each other. They are hard to learn and always hard to do. Quadrant 2. This quadrant contains things that are easy to learn but hard to do. Hard physical labor might fall into this category, like digging a ditch with a shovel. It's easy to learn, but it's always hard to do. Quadrant 3. This quadrant contains those jobs or activities that are hard to learn but easy to do. Driving a car or typing with a keyboard might fall into this category. They are difficult to learn at first, but once you have learned them, they're easy to do afterwards. Quadrant 4. This quadrant, in terms of what you should ideally be doing, is the most important. These are the jobs that are easy to do, and they were so easy to learn that you often forgot how you learned them at all. These are invariably the types of jobs or the kind of work at which you excel and which are almost effortless for you, although they may be difficult for others. This is or are the work or jobs that you should be doing with your life. Examine your work history. Look back over your life and ask yourself, what activities, behaviors, or decisions have been most responsible for my success in life to date? You'll probably find that less than 5% of the things that you have said or done have accounted for most of the success that you have enjoyed. You may find that it was your unique ability to solve a particular kind of problem or to take advantage of a particular type of opportunity. You may find that your special talent was an interpersonal skill that enabled you to influence and persuade other people
at a particular time and place. You may find upon analysis that it was an ability to take charge and accept responsibility for accomplishing a particular goal. Whatever has been responsible for your successes in life to date may be a good indication of what you should be doing in the future. Describe in detail the amount of money you would like to earn, the kind of work you would like to do, the size and character of the company you would like to work for, the type of people you would like to work with, the kind of customers that you would like to sell to, and the level of responsibility or position you would like to attain. As you think through the kind of job that would make you happy, you may find that it is a completely different field than the one you're in now. Analyze your work based on the measure that I call return on energy. Leaders in every field deliberately apply their talents and energies where they can achieve their greatest return on the amount of energy, mental, emotional, and physical, that they invest in any endeavor. They refuse to take on jobs or work in areas where they cannot perform at exceptional levels. They treat themselves as valuable resources, and they spend their energies very carefully. One of the questions that you might continually ask yourself is this: is this the best possible use of my time and energy? Is what you are doing right now the most valuable thing that you could be doing, given your particular combination of talents and abilities? Often, answering this question will help you to see that there is a vast difference between what you are currently doing and what you should be doing if you want to be fulfilling more of your potential.
Almost every really successful, happy man or woman will say that the reason for their success is that they are doing what they love to do. Whenever a person is unhappy for any reason, I always ask them how much they enjoy their work, and would they choose to do this type of work if there were other options open to them. Invariably, when someone is generally unhappy with their life, especially a man, they are dissatisfied with their work for some reason. Unfortunately, there's an old myth in our society that suggests that work is a penalty you pay during the day so that you can get your enjoyment from other things in the evenings and on the weekends. Many people view work as a punishment, but something that is unavoidable. They try to do it as well as they need to so they don't get fired, but they never really think about whether they enjoy it or not. However, this attitude is not for you. Your life is too precious and valuable to spend it doing something you don't enjoy. Every minute of it should be spent doing things that you love and care about and which make you happy. The wonderful thing is that the highest paid people in America and worldwide are often working at jobs that they enjoy so much that they hate to go home at night. And the lowest paid people are invariably found at jobs they dislike, where they are just going through the motions. Here are 2 simple tests to determine whether or not you are in the right job for you. Number 1, would you continue to work at that job if you won $1 million in the lottery tomorrow? If the first thing that you would do would be to quit your job if you had enough money, then this simply means that you are in the wrong position for you. Number 2, use what I call the clock test. People who are in the wrong job watch the clock all the time. They are very aware of what time they start and what time they quit. People who are in the right job are seldom aware of the clock, except to know how little time they have left to do the work they really enjoy. However you measure it, choosing the right work for you is central to you enjoying high feelings of self-esteem and self-confidence, not only in your work, but in every other part of your life. Once you have chosen your ideal job or occupation for this stage of your career, your biggest responsibility is to make the decision to become very good and then to become excellent at what you do. Men and women who are good at what they do and who know that they are good at what they do are very different from those who are only average. They walk and talk and dress and behave differently. They have an attitude of assurance and certainty about themselves, which causes them to stand out in any group. They have a deep down sense of self-worth and self-confidence that is evident to everyone around them. This brings us to a very important mental principle called the law of accumulation. The application of this law is a fundamental reason for success in every field, including yours. This law says that every great life or great career is an accumulation of hundreds and perhaps thousands of efforts that nobody ever sees or appreciates. Great success is the result of countless hours, maybe even months and years of preparation and hard work toward the goal of becoming very good at what you are doing. This law of accumulation says that life is very much like a balance sheet with both credits and debits. Every time you do something positive to enhance your abilities and to improve your life, you get a credit on the credit side of your ledger. Every time you waste your time or neglect to take advantage of an opportunity to learn and grow, you get a debit on the debit side of your ledger. Here's the key. Everything counts. Everything that you do or fail to do is written down and totaled up on your balance sheet. Everything that you do or fail to do counts in some way. Nothing is neutral. Everything is either moving you toward a better life or moving you away from it. Everything counts. A successful, happy, self-confident person is an individual who has consciously and deliberately built up a lot of credits on his or her balance sheet. An unhappy, negative, or insecure person is a person who has a lot of debits on his or her balance sheet. And since the only things that count are your actions, it seems that every positive and constructive action you engage in adds up and increases your levels of self-confidence and self-esteem. Perhaps the most important corollary of the law of accumulation is what is called the law of incremental improvement. This is really the law that explains how you move from wherever you are to the top of your field. This is the law that explains all great success in America or anywhere else in the world. This law simply states that a person becomes good at his or her chosen field by improving incrementally, continuously, over a long period of time. My friend Darren Hardy has written a book entitled The Compound Effect, in which he explains how it is that everything positive you do in your life compounds and multiplies, growing with force and power over the months and years. As Einstein said, compounding is the most powerful force in the universe. In a study on the subject of mastery, reported on in the magazine Psychology Today some years ago, the researchers concluded that mastery consisted of the ability to recognize a great variety of patterns in a given situation based on what they called a high level of integrative complexity. Integrative complexity is defined as the ability to recognize patterns in a situation and to accurately predict what is likely to happen and the best action to take based on previous experiences with similar situations. For example, a salesperson would achieve a high level of confidence and capability in a sales situation by having both studied his or her profession and by having been in countless previous sales situations. He or she would have developed the ability to integrate his knowledge and experience and to recognize a particular pattern in the sales situation based on previous sales situations that were similar to this one. An excellent business person is one who has developed this same capability of recognizing a pattern when it occurs again, drawing upon previous experiences, and is therefore able to respond effectively and do and say the right things to complete the business transaction successfully or make the correct investment decision. It takes several thousand hours of research and practice to achieve and perform at exceptional levels in any complex field or any difficult occupation or profession. Although there are prodigies, people who succeed in a short period of time, these are very rare. Malcolm Gladwell, in his best-selling book Outliers, quotes the extensive research that shows that it takes several years on average for a person to become excellent in his or her chosen field. According to Gladwell, mastery in any field requires 10,000 hours or 7 years of hard work, or both.
Most people only become wealthy after the age of 40 or 50 if they achieve it at all. It takes them many years of hard work, continuous learning, and experience to develop an extensive enough repertoire of patterns so that they can recognize and take advantage of opportunities that appear to them. Up to that time, they make many mistakes. 2 steps forward and 1 step back, as they say. The law of incremental improvement is your key to an unlimited future of success, prosperity, and self-confidence. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. All that matters is where you're going. As Theodore Roosevelt said, do what you can with what you have, where you are. By applying the law of incremental improvement to yourself and your work, you can begin moving upward toward joining the great ones in your field. If you are doing what you love to do, and you are doing it with all your heart, by engaging in continuous personal and professional improvement, you can begin to move forward at such a rapid rate that it will astonish you. You've heard of the 80-20 rule, which says that 80% of the income goes to 20% of the people. Your goal, if you are not already there, should be to join the top 20% in your field. If you're in the top 20% already, your job is to get into the top 10%, and then the top 5%, and then the top 4%, and so on. Your goal should be to be the best. Your goal is to be recognized by those around you as outstanding in your field. Your goal must be to pay any price, overcome any obstacle, and make any effort necessary to become excellent in your chosen career. There is one small problem that you need to deal with before you become one of the best in your field. Many of us never even think about becoming excellent at our work. It never even occurs to us that we have the ability to learn anything. We need to learn to be able to do an outstanding job at anything we put our minds to. The fact is that, generally speaking, you have the capability to excel at anything that is really important to you. If anyone else has achieved a high level of competence in your field, then so can you. All you have to do is do the same things over and over until sooner or later you get the same results that they have. This is the law of cause and effect in action. When you practice this law in conjunction with the law of incremental improvement, you can move from wherever you are to wherever you want to be. Just as choosing the right work or career for you requires self-analysis and self-awareness, moving to the top of your field requires that you take your existing position and you break it down into what we call its key result areas, or its core competencies. In every job, and in every company for that matter, there are a few key skills, seldom more than 5 to 7, that determine the success or failure of the person in that job. Wherever an individual is having trouble in his or her career, it is usually because he or she is weak in one or more of these KRAs, or core skills. Wherever a person is successful, it turns out that they are strong in all of the key skills necessary for success in that job. And here's a key discovery. Your weakest important skill determines the height of your success in your work. You could be excellent at 6 out of 7 of your key result areas, but your weakness in the 7th area can hold you back for years. Your first job is to break your work down into its component parts, its basic skills, its basic key result areas, and then honestly analyze your level of competence in each one by giving yourself a grade on a scale of 1 to 10. For example, if you are in sales, your key result areas or core skills might be prospecting, establishing rapport, identifying problems accurately, presenting solutions, answering objections, closing the sale, and getting resales and referrals from satisfied customers. A weakness in any one of these areas could be fatal to your success and your income. Each situation may be slightly different, but the same concept applies. Success begins by analyzing the individual parts of your performance and then by making a plan to become very good in each area.
One of the most important breakthroughs in personal performance and career success is described in Jeffrey Colvin's top-selling book, Talent is Overrated. Colvin shows that most people start their careers with limited marketable skills and then develop from there. It turns out that those executives who got to the top early in their careers developed the habit of identifying the most important skill they could develop at that stage of their career. They would then dedicate themselves to mastering that skill, one skill at a time. Once they had developed a key skill, they would then identify the one skill that could help them to advance even further. Their entire career ladder consisted of mastering each key skill, one at a time, until the compound effect took over and they moved rapidly upwards in their jobs. A good exercise is to ask yourself, what is my limiting skill? What is it that I do or don't do that is determining the speed at which I succeed and move ahead in my job? What is the performance bottleneck or choke point in your work? What limits you or holds you back from getting to where you want to go? Sometimes taking the time to develop one limiting skill will put your entire career onto the fast track. Once you have defined your ideal job and then broken that job down into its constituent parts or core skills, and then made a plan to become very good in each part of your job, then your final key to self-motivation and a feeling of growth is to commit yourself to continuous, never-ending self-improvement. Make a decision right now to dedicate yourself to a lifetime process of personal and professional development. Here are 3 simple rules that will change your life. Number 1, invest 3% of your income back into yourself. Spend 3% of what you earn on personal research and development, on upgrading your skills and abilities, and on becoming better at performing the most important tasks that are required of you. If you invest 3% of your income back into yourself, you'll never have to worry about money again. Number 2, read for 1 hour or more each day in your chosen field, underlining and taking careful notes that you can review regularly. A simple technique is to read and underline with a red pen, and then go back and transfer all of those key points into a spiral notebook. You can dictate the key points and have them typed up for you, or use dictation software that translates your voice, which you can then print out. You will then have a synopsis of the most important ideas in any book. When you review them, which only takes about 10 minutes or so, 5 or 6 times, you memorize all the key points. This method is used by some of the most successful men and women in America. Number 3, listen to audio programs in your car. Turn your automobile into a mobile classroom, a university on wheels. Never drive your car without your educational audio programs playing. According to the American Automobile Association, the average driver spends between 500 and 1,000 hours each year in their car. If you turn this driving time into learning time, you can become one of the best educated people of your generation. Your ability to earn money by applying your knowledge and skill is the most important single source of money in your life. This is called your earning power and is the sum total of all your knowledge and skill applied to doing a job. Your earning ability is your ability to get results that someone will pay you for. This capacity represents as much as 80 to 90% of your total net worth. And your earning ability is either an appreciating asset, becoming more valuable each month and year, or a depreciating asset, losing value each month and year because of a failure to continually upgrade your skills. One of the smartest expenditures you can make is to invest in your earning ability to become better at what pays you the most. This continuous investment in yourself will put you behind the wheel of your own life. It will assure you of greater success and self-confidence every day of your life, and by the law of indirect effort, a commitment to yourself will earn you the self-esteem self-respect, and personal pride that you desire. You will eventually achieve the competence and mastery in your field that generates the feelings of self-confidence that make you irresistible. There is no limit to what you can accomplish if you know the direction that you are going and you are willing to make the efforts to become excellent at what you do. Now, here are some exercises that you can use to apply these ideas. Number 1, make a decision today to become excellent at what you do. Set it as a goal, make a plan, and work on it every day. Number 2, identify the jobs or parts of your job that you most enjoy, and then seek a way to do more and more of those jobs. Number 3, identify those jobs in your career that have been easy to learn and which are easy to do, and look for ways to do more of them more of the time. Number 4, identify the key result areas of your work and give yourself a grade of 1 to 10 in each one. Remember that your weakest key skill sets the height of your success. Number 5, what one skill, if you are excellent at it consistently, would have the greatest positive impact on your career? Number 6, develop a continuous learning plan for yourself and dedicate yourself toward getting better and better at what you do. And number 7, identify the most important result or results for which you are paid and resolve to get more and better of those results every day.